Alright, I'm gonna try to be a good boy and avoid doing the Sean Connery voice, even though I've seen every Celebrity Jeopardy sketch and I'm kind of itching to do it. It can be a disaster of epic proportions. Unfortunately, I've already experienced one of those today. This game. It's the dog now, man. So before that Tom Clancy guy had his name all over Rainbow Six or Blorbs or whatever the hell he's been up to, he had this, a submarine game based on one of his first books. Now, one of the most important criteria for a successful game is recognition. And when you can stick the name of an Oscar-winning film on it, as well as Sean Connery's face, you got it made, right? The irony is that Hunt for Red October won its Oscar for sound editing, and none of that carries over into the NES version. The background music is as bleak and dreary as a Cold War underwater thriller could possibly be. I seriously considered drowning myself in a bowl of borscht just so I'd go out with some color. But that's not the least of the problems. The whole of the game just doesn't make sense. And I know games based on properties like this don't usually make a lot of sense, but when you're this slow-paced and boring, I like to think you could get at least a few things right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but how the hell does ice fall underwater? And if you fire a missile at it, chunks come flying back at you? For that matter, since when are kamikaze tactics viable underwater? And what's with this weird wall extending up into the sky? It's a perfect storm of stupid, which, with the painful controls, stupid homing missile AI, and shipyard locks that can become completely impossible if you scroll them onto the screen incorrectly, the whole thing just feels like a condemnation. Look, not every early game is a winner. Don't let it be said that this thing doesn't have ambition. You've got shields, 2 different sets of weaponry, some pretty involved cutscenes. I mean, at least it tries to convey some of the story. I can think of some movie games, Home Alone 2, that wouldn't even deign to do that. Just that Macaulay Culkin brat running around a hotel. So here's the problem. When you give me a game that tries this hard, I expect the gameplay to be up to snuff. Unfortunately, that's not the case here. You've got enemy subs just popping up out of nowhere to ram your hull, and you're left with no recourse other than to turn on your shields and pray. You can't counterattack because you can't fire to the left, and there isn't enough room for a missile to loop around. I mean, if you make that falling ice look like rocks that got caught in the iceberg, that makes some bleeding sense. But no, the thing succumbs to the artifice of gaming by discarding its own integrity. It's a promising concept, but the end result just sucks.